Burning blue. You see, Mariah? That's just a
Ooh.
little bit. Just a little
You
bit.
actually sound amazing. Hit that note again. See,
Yo,
our
she
chief R&B
said,
singer. Our
"This
chief
is how
R&B.
we actually sing." That's
Gosh,
better.
our chief R&B girl. Am I not lying? Wasn't that note like?
Listen,
It
you
was.
know, I hit y'all with a little song last time. This time I give you another one, new key, new sound. You know what I'm saying? It's all about being in the key. You know what I'm saying? All about being in the key. Nah, let me stop. But what's up, y'all? What's up? It's another amazing, phenomenal. I always have the greatest things to say about my podcast because I love this motherfucking podcast. The one and only Reasonable Dialogue podcast brought to you by your favorite homegirls here in the condo. It's your girl, DJ Miss Milan.
Jazz is here.
And it's your girl, Yana Sneed, and you are listening to episode 18 of Reasonable Dialogue. Thank y'all for tapping in. Yeah.
18.
This is like,
I was
just about to say that. We're legal now. We're legal.
Y'all are so silly.
This is like college, you know, your first freshman day of college. And it's fall, too. It's officially fall. This is perfect.
Oh my God, it's
alignment. I
officially
love it.
fall?
It is officially fall.
My girl
Oh,
fall.
I might have to change my Abby to the pumpkin heads.
Hey. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. She definitely is the chief head of the October month. She always does like these viral pumpkin kind of, you know, meme type of pictures. So shout out to the hot girl coach.
I
Megan
love
Thee
that.
Stallion.
If Mariah Carey got Christmas, Megan definitely got Halloween.
Yeah,
Like-
I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay. Shout out to the girls dominating the season. You know what's so crazy? I was literally telling one of my homegirls the other day, I was like, I really miss Megan. I feel like, although I do believe she's in a new space, you know, with her man and she's, you know what I'm saying? He's taking time, which is very important because the girl has been through a lot over the years. And for her to
Yes.
just find some sense of peace, as we've also been talking about, you know, amongst ourselves, just grounding and centering and just finding that, you know, middle ground of just being to yourself. I do appreciate when artists do take the time to just be a human fucking being. But at the same time, I'm like, sister girl, now we need some hot girl season, hot girl pumpkin spice. Now that it's fall, your season is here, sis. But she did come out with a new like video where she was looking phenomenal.
She
I'm
looks
talking about
amazing.
hair, body. Listen, that's that relationship glow up. I'm not gonna lie. The relationship do give you glow up, or it can make you ugly. Either way, it depends on how you just, you know what I'm saying, deal with these niggas in relationships. But when
No,
you
I
a
love to
hot
see
girl
that.
and you don't give a fuck about these niggas, I feel like you glow up like Meg all the time. So shout out to the real
Okay.
pimp.
She looks amazing.
Yeah, shout out to her looking amazing. Okay. Anyways, how have you ladies been this week? You know what I'm saying? It's a brand new week. I'm excited to be in the condo with y'all. What y'all brought today?
I am too, and I will say, not only am I happy to be with my sisters, I'm feeling very blessed and highly favored because one, I get to be in the condo with you beautiful ladies, but both of you ladies, you know, have been a part of my journey in some way. And I was really reminded this past week on why treating people the way you want to be treated at whatever level in your career is so impactful, because as you continue to go up, you're going to see those same people. And, you know, we're waiting for the ink to draw on a couple things. And, you know, the condo will be the first to know. But I am on the cusp of another legendary career pivot because of the legends and the beautiful people that keep my name in these rooms. And it's just a reminder that, you know, I feel like sometimes we move so fast because we're doing all these things. Like, Milan, you're on tour, like, Jan, you're at panels and you're programming and stuff. And it's like, we're literally doing the stuff we wanted to do as kids. And I had a sense of humility and staying grounded in humility this week when, you know, a CEO started a meeting with prayer. And he's a legendary CEO and founder who this man is. And to see him ground himself and make us all, I don't know why I'm tearing up right now, but to make us all come together in prayer before we could even start the meeting. You know, I've never experienced anything like that. Like, I've been in a lot of rooms that are very masculine and I'm sometimes the only woman, but to be in a space where I felt like, no, these are my brothers, and they're gonna make sure that I can be able to do the work and be a vessel of love. It was a really, really great week and powerful week to me. And I'm just happy to be here in the condo, with my feet kicked up, my little glass of wine right now. And yeah, share this moment with y'all. So anybody listening that's been following the journey or, is ever feeling like, how do I transition through the pivot? Just stay kind. Like, I know it may sound crazy because we live in a world where, like shit hits the fan all the time, but staying kind is really a superpower through it all. Cause you go see them people again. You go see them again. They go
Yeah.
see you again. That's the thing. They go
Yeah.
see you. So
I just
I'll
want
say
to
that
say I
for
always
you.
love your vulnerability, sis. I really, really do. Your transparency, your vulnerability is truly and honestly everyone's superpower, but yours specifically. And I love that you're not afraid to show it. And that's what the world needs, more people to be vulnerable and transparent. So shout out to you. And
Thank you,
also,
sister.
we not gonna talk about it until the ink dries because we all know what you got going on, and we'll let the condo know later. But it is a legendary motherfucking run. I'm talking about sis has been hitting all marks, dotting all I's, crossing all T's, and being the baddest bitch while she's doing it. Okay, so shout out to you. All right. But one thing
Thank
I
you,
want to
sis.
touch on really quick that you did mention that I love is the fact of you have to be kind to people, like, and at every level. I love the fact that you mentioned at every level because especially within this industry, people can get really big-headed really fucking quickly,
Mhm.
like really quickly. They lose humility in the fact that you get to wake up doing this thing that you love to do. Like, this is a privilege to really be in a position to chase your passions, pursue your dreams, and make an actual career and thrive off of it. I always think about that too. Like, wow, I'm waking up as, of course, me, the human being first, but this other hat of me is successful. And the other hats that I also, wear because I have my own definition of success is never compared to anyone else, is also successful. And one thing that I've always upheld with myself is my morals and my integrity, especially with how I treat other people. Like I always say, the janitor, security, you all always get the same respect as the promoter, founder, CEO, because you just never know who you are truly going to impact and how you interact with people. Honestly, you just never know who is a part of your journey in that. You know what I'm saying? And the person that you were so kind to along the way that you didn't even know would be impactful to you 3, 4 years down the line. And you're like, wait, like, I remember this encounter. So I always say lead with how you would want people to basically like encounter you. And I always want people to have the best
Mm.
experience when they encounter me. I want them to feel good. I want them to feel safe. I want them to have fun. I want them to feel enlightened. And I think that is my responsibility, not only as a human being, but just as somebody within this industry, as we all are in, can be very quickly jaded and just really nasty sometimes. So I'm glad that there are beacons of lights like us that uphold the fact that not everybody is a bitch or just a fucking jigaboo in the industry. We actually are kind and loving and actually want to see each other win, and thank you for that reminder that this is not just about us individually, it's about us collectively at the end of the day. We do affect
That's
each
a
other.
bar.
So I love that, sis. I
That's
love
a
that.
bar.
But also, just, since we are here, let me talk about my week. I am currently on the road. We are preparing for another successful tour. Life on the Swamp is officially happening next month. Well, literally, what is it? A few days that we got till October is here. But I'm super excited. We had 2 festivals recently that we did for All Things Go, which is a super amazing LGBTQ curated festival. And spaces like that are also important to make people feel seen and to feel safe. Me and my sister, we've been performing for the last 2 days in New York and in DC, specifically Baltimore. I want to be, respectful to the land that, that in the city that we're in, the city of Baltimore. If you ever watched the Cosby's, I know we can't talk about the man behind it, but that was a very iconic episode. Okay. The city of Baltimore. All right. Shout out to Felicia Rashad. But anyways, we've been performing and we've been really, really like even the thought of, like you all were saying, like humility and just, I get to do this. This is a privilege. We've been feeling that feeling performing these last 2 days and just preparing for us to, hit these next 2 festivals that we have with Austin City Limits and then finally going on tour. And also, I took a leap of faith and said, you know what? I want to do something for me too. And basically nurture my own personal community that I'm a part of, which is the DJ community. And I decided to make my own cute tour, okay, the Miss Milan and Friends tour, something that
Take me through there. Take me through
What
there.
you doing, so take you for a feeling. What we doing, twin?
what
I'm
we
shaking
doing.
ass.
We shaking ass. That's what we doing. We shaking ass. Okay, in different cities. And I'm really, really like, overwhelmed. I'm not gonna get too emotional because your girl's a Pisces. I will cry if I have to. But at the same time, I'm very excited for the reception of it. I was nervous to even do it because I didn't, sometimes you don't know your true power. And not only power in the sense of overpowering people, but power in how influential and inspiring you are. And the fact that I have such a warm and overwhelming reception of people that are excited to come and, see us perform, but also come and see me, do my thing and just create this type of space where I'm just having a great time during these shows and also putting on my homies, my DJ homies, and just, having a great time with what it is that I'm doing, being in the privilege that I am in. I'm very, very excited about that. And I'm thankful for that. So yeah, I'm just preparing for a lot of things coming up too. The ink isn't dry on certain things as well on my end, but we are excited and we have a lot to look forward to. So that's basically been my week. What about you, good sister Yarn? Go ahead, Jasmine. Sorry.
I was just gonna say the marketing for that, the flyer
Thank
for the tour,
you.
everything. Girl, I ain't never like reposted so fast. I was like, yes, this looks amazing.
Thank you.
Like, I love.
I have
I
to
love
shout out my graphic creative director. When they talk about needing help, I'm not one to always reach out because I will exhaust all options first, dealing with trauma and not really knowing how to ask for help. I did pray to God about help and wanting the right people to align with my vision and bring it to life. And God has put so many amazing people in my world recently. So shout out to Liv. She's also a very much so fan of the show. She listens all the way from Canada. She is my graphic creative designer who has been, helping me produce these flyers and just the direction of it. Super, super sweet, amazing. We're going to have to lock in with her for our podcast, girls, because she's really, really dope. But she's like super phenomenal. So shout out to her. And also Sammy, my web designer. I hit her up. She helped do a whole revamp of my recent website. And I hit her up to like help me put, these dates as like official landing page type shit. Like, let me be professional with it. Let me show y'all like, your girl is doing some things. And shout out to these women on the team doing it really big. And it feels good to say that. Like I'm building my own team of people that are helping me bring my vision to life. And as well, because of who I am and what I do, I'm also assisting in their vision and what they have going on. So, you know what I'm saying? One hand is definitely washing the other and we washing these asses. Okay.
You know what I really always have appreciated about the things that you do and the team around you? It's always been like women centered. And I'm sure there's been situations where there might have been a man here or there, but like for the most part, you always have women surround you. And I think that's just so dope because even just like what we're doing with this, it's just a women-led podcast. I know when we were talking about bringing on graphic designers, we were looking at women for that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think it's just like very on brand. And I love that this is something that you always incorporate. Like this is very much your thing and not just some shit you talk about online.
Thank you.
Yeah. But my week was really good. Kind of similar in the vein that y'all are talking about as far as just like, I don't know, like leaning into being a good person and showing up in that way. Like I feel like a lot of things that happened for me this week were a result of relationships that I've built in the past and just how I've showed up in the past and people remembering that. So I had the opportunity to do a presentation at Berkeley on Friday, which was honestly like that shit made me cry.
Literally,
You should.
Seriously.
Okay,
It made me
the
cry.
flyers, the names, talk about Miss Tatiana Sneed. Yes, yes, that girl.
For those who don't know, so prior to working in the industry on the back end, there was a point in my life when I did want to be a singer. My dad kind of molded me into what I probably should have been. He had me in dance lessons for 7 years. I was playing piano with a private tutor for almost 20 years. I was in a gospel choir. I went to school for vocal and piano performance. Like, it was just like my life for a really long time. And one of the schools that he had wanted me to get into was Berkeley. Like, I have the letter from him and everything. So just seeing that, not actually ever getting that, getting admitted, or I didn't even actually get an audition or nothing because he didn't understand the proper way to go through. So just full circle. Now I'm teaching y'all kids at a school that I wanted to go to, but never even got to audition for. It was just like, I don't like after it just was like, holy shit. God do not miss
at all.
And I think what kind of like really brought it home for me too is just like after the event, because so the way we did it, it was set up during their lunch hour. And for those who went to college and are familiar with that, it's like your lunch hour, you're not really trying to be in no kind of class or none of that. Like you're going to lunch, you're hanging out, or you're taking a nap. And after that, you're going right to class. So the fact that we filled up that room during lunch hour was really like meaningful to me. And then after it finished when lunch hour was over. So I'm assuming it was just we was gonna wrap and everybody was gonna leave because they had class to go to. And they all lined up and we was talking to them for like another 45 minutes. So it's just like I just felt really valued. I felt very heard. I didn't feel any nerves, which was like new for me. Like I feel like I belong here. Because in any other space I've been in, it's just been super nerve-wracking. I've had really bad anxiety. It was hard for me to get my words out. So for me, it just flowed. Like I belonged in that space, teaching them kids. And then also just knowing like these are like the best of the best across the world. Like Berkeley, their students are from everywhere. So some of them students coming up to me were from China, from Brazil. Like I'm just like, holy shit, it's crazy. So yeah,
because you're supposed to be there. Like that's literally everywhere you're supposed to be. Your light shines and goes, and it really does like amplify like others. It really does.
You should definitely feel proud, Jan. The fact that you even mentioned it being something that you and your father, you know what I'm saying? Like just that connection in itself, like you foreshadowed and didn't even know where you would be, which is always the best, inspiring type of story. So I love, 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 love that happened for you. I seen the billboard, I seen the post. I was like, hold on, take me through that. Hey. What we doing, twin? Like she doing it. That's what we doing. She doing it.
I appreciate that. I really just want to shout out Latoya Lee too because she's been following. She's been following me for a minute, and we hadn't had an opportunity to meet yet. So it's just been like once she sees what I do online, and just always has shown love. And I know, like in the past, she shared artists with me that I've supported. It's just been like this long-term relationship in that sense. So for her to finally like, yeah, I'm here now, and I want you here to do this here with me.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's incredible. And it's just like you're like to y'all point, like you really just never know when things are gonna connect. So you really just have to show up genuinely, and
you really don't like. Just like shout out to Jan too, because Jan had me eating Thai food all week. She's one of the best Thai restaurants I have ever been in Manhattan, and I kept ordering the same thing the next day. It was so good, but like no, shout out to your point, because no, to my sister's point, like I literally got the phone call that like changed the next phase of my career when I was sitting with Jan. We was actually leaving the restaurant.
Oh God, yes.
And I answered the phone. I was like, hold on, y'all gotta answer the phone. I was like, wait, this who?
This hove now.
So no, like shout out to you, man, because you carry a light, man. You definitely one of God's ones for sure. For sure.
Thank you, sis. I really appreciate that, seriously. But yeah, I just feel like this week was just very divine. Because even outside, I guess the last thing I'll say too, without getting too deep into it, because it's not necessarily my business to share, but I was able to orchestrate something for somebody else who really needed the help. And he's been looking for the help for a very long time, but just hasn't been able to figure out where to look. And just something in it. The woman I found for him was like, she's not even here, she overseas. And it just like happened to fall into my lap. And it's exactly what he was looking for. So it just like shit like that just be feeling like God, because who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? So like I just really think that, to y'all point, it's just so important to be a light to others, and just show up, because you really never know when people need it, and you never know how that's going to return back to you later.
Yes, I like that.
And it's not easy either. Like, I think, like, so shout out to us for actually doing it. Like, it is, like, yes, it is easy to be kind, but when you're dealing with some rude, it's like, yo, I really got to talk to the other person on my shoulder to remind myself, like, don't go off, like, you know?
And
So,
don't take it
like,
personal unless
yeah.
you talk about something like my mama or my dog or my people. Or
Mm.
matter of fact, I'm gonna take it personal. I lied. I'm gonna take it personal because what you being rude to me for, nigga, bitch? Like fuck. Okay, okay. But no, I agree, y'all. I agree. How you treat people returns back to you, and I do it intentionally. Even if it wasn't something that was supposed to come back to me, I'm supposed to be this way, and that's the best way to be. I don't do it for anything, but because it's the right thing to do, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's the right thing to do. And speaking of right things to do, I think the right thing to do would be these people who created this Tina Turner statue that they unveiled in Tennessee
Wow.
recently. If they take that shit back and fix that motherfucker and come back to the drawing board and bring us a real statue of the legendary queen of rock and roll and soul, Tina Turner. Did y'all see that statue?
I did. And what was funny to me was seeing people's reactions around it. Like, I don't know if it was Tina Turner's like family members or like people from the community who are really invested in her legacy, but they looked very distraught.
Dude, that fucking
Just
statue
looking
looked
at
distraught. Like, what the hell? That shit looked like some Disney Channel cartoon character. Like, what is going on? Why is her wig like that? Why was y'all
She
putting
looked
her
like a
face?
villain.
She did.
She looked like a villain.
It looks
Like,
insane.
hold on.
Oh my
It looks
god.
insane. She's like a DC character. It looks
Oh my
insane.
god. Yes.
I know we rolling on the river, but my God, today that wig was rolling on the river too. Like, I'm sorry. You're not gonna do Tina Turner like that. You're
Literally.
not gonna do her. And you know what I realized too? I realized that when it comes to black artists, they always do us so
Come on.
dirty and the statues and the whatchamacallit, the Madame Tussauds,
Yep.
wax figures and all of that. It's like what technology are y'all using at this point in time? I'm for AI if it means nah, I'm joking. Nah, it's like
No,
come on,
seriously.
get it together, y'all. Get it together.
Like,
It
y'all not
shouldn't be that
consulting with the
hard.
family. Like, y'all ain't got nobody to consult with on these projects. That'd be the thing with me. It's like, I feel like there should be a mandate. Like, if you're going to do this as it pertains to black, you need to have X, Y, and Z, or just don't do it. Make a
Yeah,
statue of
there
somebody
should
else.
have been some communication, but outside of the statue and how it looks, the thought process behind it, I must give it the consideration that it does deserve as far as honoring Tina Turner. We all know legendary queen of rock, and we're not just saying that. That's real fact. She is the queen of rock and roll and soul and all of that. Tina Turner has lived a complete, and honestly, it's a sad life to think about it because her lasting words and thoughts and, emotions about how she felt and how she was even perceived, which now as we're older, I'm going to be real, the whole eat the cake anime, those type of things. It's like we're older now, we're wiser now. Those things are cringe when you hear it. And it's like, although it may have been cute and maybe fun then, and it never honestly was, it is cringe now when you think about it because we are making fun essentially of her abuse that she did suffer. And it's unfortunate that she had to flee the country to feel love by, outsiders versus her own, country, to be honest, and own city. And I'm just grateful that she, number one, outlived Ike, that son of a bitch. And I'm also grateful that she still can receive her flowers and the love that she truly and honestly does deserve, because I feel like it's such a painful thought process. And it's so heartbreaking to know that a person like her died without feeling like really recognized and really loved the way that she honestly, truly should feel. So shout out to Tina Turner and the legacy that she honestly has. Appreciate her.
Yes, yeah.
But, legacy comes in all forms, y'all. And one thing Rihanna and Rocky is doing, they building that football team over there. They finally got their girl, head coach of the Rockettes. Okay, that's what we're gonna call them. The Rockettes.
Oh my God.
Something I saw.
Rocky, yeah.
No, so something I saw about it that I thought was really dope. Because I didn't even think about it that way. It was the way that she incorporates his name into all of their names.
Yep.
I love that. because what the commentary was saying, which I agree with, was just like you can kind of tell how much she really adores and admires him as a partner.
Yes.
To incorporate his name into all of their children's names.
Yeah.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. And it's
love
really
that. Yeah.
beautiful.
My
Her latest baby girl that she dropped. I knew when I seen the picture, I was like, Rihanna been had this baby. She's just letting us know. She's just finally showing it to us. Like, let's be real. She been had this baby. But she recently dropped the picture that shook the entire world. Baby girl by the name of Rocky Irish Mayers, which shout out to the Beijing Roots. And I believe people said that this was a ode to her late passing father. So it was really, really nice. So now she has RZA, Riot, and Rocky. And I feel like Rocky as the girl's name with the I on the end is
I
just
love it.
chef's kiss. Did you guys see the boxing gloves, the little pink, cute boxing gloves to play off of Rocky?
Oh my God. I fainted. Y'all know I love pink. I fainted. I literally did.
Ain't it?
I do. I love it. And it's interesting because I've had this strange, and I've talked about it in the condo a couple times here, this kind of like strange, lingering baby fever. I thought it was me. This whole time, y'all, I thought it was me. Come to find out, it was not only Rihanna, but somebody else. I can't announce it yet, but we will have the Reasonable Dialogue onesie coming soon. So yeah, shout out to all the new babies coming to the world. It's not me. I'm just saying. See, it's part of the family.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's not
Part
me.
of the family. Congratulations in advance. I'm about to say, Jazz, because you've been a lover girl all summer. I'm asking questions now. What's happening? Is the love manifesting into a bundle of joy? Which I will very, very gladly volunteer to be auntie. Don't worry, y'all. I got y'all on a babysitting. I
Got you. Because
y'all
we
on a
got
babysitting.
definitely got you on the list. Definitely got you on the list.
Thank you. No problem. I love the kids. I can give you guys back your kids. That's the perfect relationship for me. Okay. Definitely. But yes, I thought that was so cute. I really am happy for them. And I know, not to be on like a quote unquote, the trigger word, parasocial relationship tip, but it's to see Rihanna from where she first came from, the little cute Beijing girl from over the islands to the Americas. And, now she is a full blown powerhouse, multi-billionaire with three beautiful children that I'm sure she has worked her ass off to make her life the way how it is. We've seen recent videos and interviews from her past of where she says she was going to do this. And I love when people actually say they're going to do something and they actually do it. And she's definitely doing it. So shout out to ASAP Rocky and Rihanna for having three beautiful children. And like they said, she has her girl. So the pieces that are going to be handed down to the princess of the crew, I'm talking about wardrobe is already stacked, okay? It's already stacked.
That's gonna be the best dressed little girl you ever seen. Ever seen.
Like I could see it now, okay? So shout out to, and she's Caribbean, so know the duds are gonna be done very well. So love it, love it, love it. But we do have to take a little sad pivot really quickly just to honor the activists, not the performative activism that we be having in these times. We're talking about real activism. Assata Shakur has recently passed away in the place where she has been deemed free and ran to her freedom for in Havana, Cuba. She was 78 years old. I'm gonna be real with you because personally speaking, I've always heard about her and how revolutionary she honestly was, and for some strange reason I always assumed that she was Tupac's mother. But she actually is Tupac Shakur's godmother and step-aunt. So I'm glad to know some new things. And I'm not opposed to being wrong or learning some new information, y'all. But yes, she is Tupac Shakur's godmother and step-aunt. She was a revolutionary political activist, a member of the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army. And in 1977, she was convicted in the murder of a state trooper during a shootout in New Jersey. On the New Jersey Turnpike, and was put on the FBI wanted list. Now, I do remember back in the day the mention of her being on the FBI's most wanted list, and I always thought, for one, like, no offense, but I always thought that was fucking fly. Like, girl, like, you on the most wanted list? This is lit. Like, what did you do? But I was young. I didn't know exactly what was going on. But she did flee to Cuba And shout out to Cuba because they held her down and said, listen, I don't give a fuck about what the US got to say. She is free here, okay? And that is exactly where she died. I seen some people speaking very highly about her dying in freedom, and then of course some people had a little other qualms to mention that did she really die in freedom, considering the fact that she could not necessarily live in America, which would be quote unquote her true and honest freedom. But I think anything in the sense of where you can have the movement and the power behind you and still die in such a way where people are remembering you for your activism and the words that you say and the way that you put them into the universe, that has also assist in the advancement of Black liberation. I feel like wherever you may have been put back to rest is doesn't even matter at this point in time. You did exactly what you were called to do. And we have to honor people like that, because I say all the time, like, I see people say things like, oh, I'm not my ancestors. And you know what? I'm not my ancestors.
I cannot stand that saying.
My ancestors,
I really cannot stand that.
And I can't stand it either, because my ancestors honestly were very strong. They were very strong. They were resilient. The things that they went through, I could never fathom.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm having a connection now dealing with the bullshit that we deal with. You know what I'm saying? So imagine the fact that these people really boycotted, not like on some, oh, we're going to boycott Starbucks and Target and then go back like 3 weeks later. Like, no, bitch. It was like, we're going to walk miles and miles to get to work and get to where we got to go to, because we boycotting the buses. Like, we're going to band together and walk miles and miles and miles with freaking police dogs and water hose
that have power that feels so hard. Like, if a water hose hits your back, I don't think they understood how hard that hits and feels. And shout out to all of the Black owned bookstores that have been reminding people, whether if you're Gen Z, millennials, baby boomers, if you've never read her autobiography, you should buy it from a Black owned bookstore. Just saying. You can get everything else from Amazon. But
you might as well.
Let's get our sister's
Speaking
autobiography.
Because my friend actually gifted me that. So in her autobiography, she critiqued a lot of people, and it kind of like goes in line with what y'all are talking about as far as just like actually doing the action rather than just talking. But in her autobiography, she critiqued those who were busy engaging in ideological debates about who had the correct line, that they failed to put their ideas into practical application. So I just wanted this to be a reminder that ideologies must not only exist for the purpose of intellectual debates, but to also serve people in a real way. And to y'all point, I just feel like if there's one thing that we can do to honor her legacy, it's really to, like, just put in the work, do shit for the community, be in community with other people, not just talk about shit online all day and debate concepts. Like, how are these concepts? Like, how are we implementing these concepts and actually doing shit for real so that we can better the community and better our relationships with each other as Black women, Black men? But yeah, rest in peace to Assata Shakur.
The GOAT,
book is definitely on my set list this week.
Okay, I got a song or two. Let me stop.
But yes, man, shout out to a legend, an activist, and definitely someone who will be remembered for her words and the movement that she was a part of. So we know that, she has books and plenty of literature that a lot of you motherfuckers need to pick up and read a goddamn book. And we have Solange now to thank, because she has launched her free digital archive library of rare Black and brown literature through her St. Huron platform, y'all. So congratulations to Solange. I feel like Solange is in her own, personal activism in her own right, because she does use it through the music, and she does use it in her art form and the things that she does put into the world. So the fact that she's coming out with a digital archive, a free digital archive library, free. We have the emphasis on free, because in today's society, nothing is free. Everything is behind a goddamn paywall. Even the news, which is designed for a reason. You're trying to keep the poor as dumb as ever. And I love the fact that people who are like us are seeing these things and saying no, because they know we all see what's currently happening with the education system and how the literacy, rate has been down in the devil's booty hole, and we need to read, we need to comprehend, we need to understand, we need our history, and they're trying to every day rewrite history, especially Black history, where they're trying to whitewash us, eradicate us. They're really trying to like make it seem like slavery wasn't that bad, and that is their exact words, not mine. So the fact that Solange is launching a free digital archive library of these Black and brown literatures is super, super important to us. And I hope people do take very much so advantage of it. Like me, when I get back from over off the road, I'm going to go to my local library. I'm going to sign up for a library card, and I'm going to take at least 1 week, one day a week to really take some time in the library. Like no phone, just reading books, seeing what other activities they have going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to really indulge in these resources that are here for us and encourage other people to also indulge in these resources. So shout out to Solange for also using her platform and her voice and her money. Okay.
Yeah.
She puts her money where her mouth is. Okay. She opens up that pussy and she puts the coins.
Right, Milan. And I will, speaking of the library, I will say you meet so many different walks of life at the library. As someone that like tries to go, like throughout the year as much as I can, it's the walks of life for me that comes through. And again, it's a sense of humility in the library as well, because in the library they do things very old school. Like, so it's still a very like traditional space. So yeah, shout out to the libraries and the librarians.
Yeah, and I just wanted to just give like a brief description too, just in depth about what the meaning of this library is, because I think that's kind of cool too. But the focus is to propel the advancement of education, knowledge, production, creative inspiration, and skill development through culturally relevant Black and brown literacy works. It'll be offered seasonally with book selections by guest curators. So the collection that they launched with highlights renowned and modern artists practicing within various themes of poetry, visual art, critical thought, design, and a lot more. And these works can be borrowed by readers for 45 days free of cost. So you would go to the website, select a book if it's available. One thing I did go through here, because I was trying to find one that I could to borrow, and these are all like gone. But essentially you would click on it, borrow it. They will let you borrow it for 45 days and then you return it. And another thing that I read about it that I thought was really, really dope are a lot of these, like, if you think of fashion, like archive fashion, like these are archive books. Like these are books you can't really access anywhere, which I think is really dope about this. So I'm curious just like how she was able to, like, I'm sure because she got money, but I think it's really dope that this collection are just books that you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else too. I think that's the other key part about this library in particular. Is it's like really exclusive. I will say though, just playing devil's advocate, there was a conversation around it as far as like some of the critiques I did see where while it was like, this is an amazing thing, it's great for the community, blah, 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 blah. But also, where are the resources for the people who are actually doing this on a higher level with that just don't have visibility or resources to really make like flush this out in a more meaningful way where it just reaches more people. And I saw people just saying like it would be nice if she uses the millions of dollars she got to help pour into those people that are in the community doing this exact same thing. Because maybe you put those books that you have access to into their collections and then it just builds the collection even further. Maybe there's a partnership there or something. But you can never really tell people how to do things. But I did think it was a valid critique. I want to say that.
I mean, all critique can be deemed valid, but at the same time, I feel like people have to give time for certain things too. Like
I agree.
People always are so quick to jump the gun and be like, but what about this and what about that? And it's like, we can do that. We can do
breathe
that
first? Can it
Like,
breathe?
can we, you know what I'm saying? Could we introduce this thing that we're trying to do? And then who knows? Maybe she will do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, relax, everyone, relax.
Well, I guess that's where I'm saying it's kind of a valid critique because it's like you're not introducing it. It's something that exists already and it's been done. And that's what I'm telling you. Like, if it was something brand new, then yeah, I could see that where it's like, let me get this out into the world, see how people respond to it, and then we can start talking to other people who are trying to do similar things or who have similar ideas, and maybe this hasn't been materialized yet, and then we can find a way to partner on it in that way. But this is something that exists already, so that from that lens, I could see people who don't necessarily have resources that she has saying like, hey, we're trying to do this, but we don't have the resources to scale it. It would be nice if like you could pour into us there also. And maybe bring our minds together and make this a way bigger mission.
Which I understand. I do. I'm gonna be fair and say that I do understand that for sure. But at the same time, I feel like, if somebody does have a bigger platform per se, it will it not that it's going to introduce like it's a new concept, but if you don't know something exists and you just found out about it, it's not to say that it isn't a new thing, but it is still new to you. You know what I'm saying? So maybe she is introducing this and the fact that these do exist to a more broader platform, considering she is a freaking superstar herself, and just utilizing her platform and her voice to also highlight that. So even though it's not a new concept and these things are now being brought up, I just feel like everything gives a certain light and visibility to other things, if that makes sense. So I see both sides of the coin.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I do too. And I think a lot of the critique is possibly coming from people in academia. Because when I think about the higher ups in academia, whether if they're like NYU or Berkeley, like I can see them having a valid critique like that. But I also understand the importance of, sometimes people using their light to shine light on other things. So.
And to that point, I guess to wrap this up, y'all are both correct, because even in the critique, what I'm seeing now is, which we didn't see before, which is kind of the point. You have all these new names being brought up, like, hey, this is a list of people who are actually doing this already. Like, bet. Now we can support them because now we know this is
right. Exactly. So yeah, shout out to Solange and shout out to everyone else that is also doing the same thing she's doing. We just want everyone to come together and let's amplify the Black and the brown literature all together, because everybody needs it. So I know you all have been seeing. At first, I personally thought it was a rumor because it wasn't really confirmed yet. But now that we know, the baddest of the bunnies. Okay, the baddest of the motherfucking
The baddest of it all. And let's just say, because I can't believe my threads is going viral, I did not expect this thread post to go viral, but it is. Excuse me, but speaking of being a baddie, I basically said, I quoted Bad Bunny when he announced it, and I was like, I think I'll do just one date in the United States. Oh, Bad Bunny, come get your baddie chain. I wasn't familiar with your game. That is going crazy on threads right now. So yeah, the Bad Bunny got his baddie chain with that announcement. I'm gonna be honest.
He got his baddie chain, and of course, like we said, there is always some form of a devil's advocate, because although this is something that can be very political in the climate of where we are as a government and just everything right now with the whole ICE and immigration, et cetera, people have their qualms about whether or not this makes sense, because, he recently had his tour, which wasn't in the U.S. at all, and rightfully so, because one thing that we can expect America to do is be racist at any level. And the fact that people predicted that they would probably be having fucking ICE entrapments at these concerts if he did that in the U.S., he probably, and his team probably, was smart enough to say, let's not even do that. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, he is one of the biggest, if not right now, currently the biggest Latin artist. So the fact that he didn't have any U.S. dates, but is coming to perform at the Super Bowl 60 for 2026, I think is personally phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. I think it's a very great play, because once again, like with Kendrick, you think that this is just a performance, but this is a political statement. And I believe the artists are utilizing their platforms and their voices to make political statements like it used to be. This is what music, especially in Black and brown music, came from, utilizing our voices to speak on the climate of what's going on in our governments and all of these things. So although people may say, why would you not have dates in the US but perform for the Super Bowl, and the contradiction of it, we know that American football is white America's pride and motherfucking joy. And the fact that you're about to have a Latino, mi gente, on the stage.
Sí.
On the stage, my mommy, my papi, you about to have all the mommies and their papi. You are about to have a good
My
time.
tia.
My tito. Okay, come on. Yon, you Puerto Rican mommy, you know what
Come
we're
on, Puerto
saying.
Rican princess. Come on, Puerto Rican princess.
I will be the salsa of the dancing. I will be hitting it, okay? And honestly, like I said, I think it's a good move, to be honest with you.
I think so too.
I do too. I think it's outstanding. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really under. I mean, I get the whole. It may seem contradictory, but I don't agree because I think people forget the Super Bowl. They don't. These artists don't get paid for that. He's not
Not at
getting
all.
paid
Not at
to
all.
do it. So it's a huge flex to actually be like, you know what? I'm not gonna come on tour, but you know, I'm gonna come for this for my boy Hove. You know, I'm gonna use some love Hove and do it. And honestly, Bad Bunny he honestly has the opportunity. I keep thinking about this to do one of the most revolutionary things we've ever seen on the Super Bowl stage, if you catch my drift. If he does it, it is literally going to be one of the most impactful Super Bowls we have ever seen in history. And I think that's the part about it that just makes me think like it's phenomenal. And I think sometimes people forget like Puerto Rico is a part of the United States. Like it's so much like with this that can be told. Like I will be in the condo with the Puerto Rican flag, the Haitian flag, the Jamaican flag, every Caribbean flag. There is like this is insane. I would love to hear my Puerto Rican princess thoughts on it. Like, cause we have one here in the condo.
I mean, I think my biggest thing too is like I wonder how intentional it is that they booked him, considering everything that's happening politically. Because I like, granted, he is a global superstar, so there's not even to discredit him there. But I think there is something to be talked about where it's like when we talk about Hove and his stances and what he's been able to do or not do, it's like you think there's no intent that goes into these bookings,
Right.
I don't know.
No, I think there is. Nobody over there is moving with a hollow head.
Right.
Okay? Nobody. So I think everything is intentional.
I'm with Jazz there. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does with that stage, because that could be huge.
On so many levels, like it can go so many different ways. Because you know he got one of his biggest hits is with the woman. You know we'll get into that, but like she pop up. Then we also, you know what I'm saying? Like it's Hove. We could have Eastern Parkway at the Super Bowl. Like I'm saying, this could go so many different.
The Puerto Rican Day Parade at the Super Bowl. That is what we're gonna really honestly get. I seen somebody tweet and say, "I do not speak Spanish, and I absolutely hope Bad Bunny does not speak a lick of English at that Super Bowl." Somebody say, yes, I want to be confused and enjoying my time. Like, yes. Give me subtitles. Yes. I know un poquito. Yes. I know that. I know certain things. Yes. I will. I too am Puerto Rican today. Okay. So shout out to the baddest of the bunnies. You got your baddie chain, my guy. I'm not going to lie. Like you said, too, beautiful point. You not getting paid for it. You not getting paid.
He's not getting paid. And let's talk about the amount of money Bad Bunny has brought to Puerto Rico just on his own, without having huge stages, etc. Like it's insane. So I think that's another reason why it's revolutionary, because of what he means for Puerto Rico right now. Like
Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, yo, they gotta put that in the set. That's a legendary song right there. Like you gotta put that in the set. I want to see all of the famous Latino artists pop out, like
except J-Lo. Except J-Lo. I'm sorry to the community. I love the community. I got Puerto Rican cousins, I promise, on my mama's side. I love the community. However, I do not want to see that. She helped start it in 2020 when they did the whole Shakira J-Lo. You've had your time. Let him shine.
Yo, oh my gosh. I really have tears in my eyes because y'all be tearing J-Lo ass up. Somebody say it shouldn't be J-Lo on that stage. It should be Ashanti. Oops. Okay.
I'll take Jocelyn Hernandez.
I'm not gonna. If we get the Puerto Rican princess to perform "Dámelo," hey, dámelo. Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be a no for me. I'm sorry.
No to the Puerto Rican princess, Jocelyn.
Jocelyn on the Super Bowl stage. Why are y'all playing in my face right now?
Can we put her on the side? Can she get like a little side thing like Serena did with Clinton?
We can do a little shout out to the Puerto Rican princess. That's it. We don't need her on the stage.
She's Afro-Latina. She must represent, Jan. Come on, man. The head chief Puerto Rican princess said no.
And her words, I'm a black Puerto Rican.
Okay, nah. But shout out to all my Boricuas. You feel me? Love it. And speaking of another Boricua, Cardi B, I do believe she probably will pop out. I do believe she will pop out because Bad Bunny and her and J Balvin have one of their biggest songs together, which is I Like It. So Cardi B can potentially, if he does perform it, we can see Cardi B at Super Bowl. Prediction. And considering the rise and the crazy run she's on currently, number one album, second time in the row, I Am the Drama on Billboard's top 200, selling 200,000 units first week. And the reason why we're going to mention this really quickly is because the fact that Billboard and the whole metric systems of how they have changed everything to be way more stricter, counting towards the sales of albums and all of this other stuff. Basically, she had it a lot harder than previous, according to what sources say, than previous ways how it's been done. So the fact that she even made this, they said 88,000 pure sales and the rest of them was digital. Her selling 200,000 the first week. I mean, being in the streets, promoting her album, performing, interviews galore, announcement of a new baby, and a tour, Am I the Drama tour, which honestly speaking, after seeing clips of her performance for a Global Citizen Festival, pregnant and all, Cardi B gives a performance.
Okay, smoke that shit. Oh my god.
That's one of the things that we can give her credit on. I believe I heard a TikToker mention the fact that when Cardi is pregnant, it's kind of like her what's the opposite of kryptonite? It's kind of like her superpower. It's like her Thanos.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? It
You
gives
know,
her
Jazz
extra
talked about
boost.
that last week.
I said that.
Yeah, Jazz talked about
Yeah.
that last week.
Yeah, I feel like it gives her, and I have to agree, it gives her extra that mommy magic. Like, you know, I got kids to feed, but I love what I do, and I think also being a mother still performing against the odds of, you know, women can't have babies and have careers, as we've seen from the first time she was pregnant with Culture and how she announced that, et cetera, and just her trajectory of her career still continued to rise. It never took a decline. I think I'm very excited for Cardi B, to be honest. I don't care what anyone says as far as her having children. It's her pussy, her way of doing things. She's rich, and I'm not saying this against, you know, the whole factor of just because you have money doesn't mean you could just have kids all willy-nilly. I feel like the fact that she has all of her kids with her and is spending time with them, like the little mini documentary clip that she had put out, which I think Cardi is going to be dropping a documentary when it comes to this tour and everything. She's following the footsteps of the Queen Bee. I think it's going to be phenomenal to see her in her element as being a mother, a working mother, and it can be done because she does have the support system. Unfortunately, a lot of women don't, which is why we say stop having these fucking kids if you don't have the true and honest support system. Like, that's just what it is. But if you have the support system and you yourself can be there, Cardi B has been very vocal on her own motherhood and the fact that she shows up for her kids. She would literally be dying of sleep before she allows anything to step in the factor of her missing out on her kids. So the fact that she has her kids with her, which I'm sure she's going to bring on tour, etc., I feel like Cardi B is doing what she needs to do and is doing it very well.
Absolutely.
Yes,
and shout out to Wave Silk Press, okay? Because he was looking real Dominican.
Okay.
Also, I wanted to
Dominican
say in the conversation around Super Bowl, she is somebody I would want to see as a guest. And I think it doesn't even necessarily have to be the Puerto Rican like type, because she's not Puerto Rican, but I think as a Latin woman,
Dominican,
she makes sense to me for that.
yeah.
And then you also consider all the things that she said publicly about politics and Donald Trump. I think she would be the perfect person to bring out if you want to bring anybody out in my
And the Bodega Baddie record,
like, can we get a remix?
Bunny, like,
Can we get a remix?
And that's what people been saying too. Like, what is the Bodega Baddie? What would the remix sound like? I think this is the perfect opportunity to put it in on the largest stage in front of everybody.
And release it with him on the largest stage. Like, that to me is the play. Don't do no remixes until the Super Bowl, and he is the feature. That's the play.
Ooh,
That would be so hard. Come on now. Yes. And then have them sit in front of each other and interview each other for the after. You know, they do the roll.
Come on.
And let's say this too. Shout out to Apple. I know we're talking about Cardi right now, but shout out to Apple's team. I look forward to every halftime rollout. Since they've been doing this with Rihanna, like the marketing team behind the Apple Music Super Halftime is phenomenal. It's like they get to work. Soon as it's announced, you go to Apple, you see Bad Bunny's roll to halftime. They have it laid out. They already got it set list, his essentials. Like, it's it's phenomenal being able to see what the Super Bowl has become on the strength of Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rock Nation for making sure that we got some culture on this stage. Because literally 2020, Shakira and J-Lo, 2021, The Weeknd. After that, it was Dr. Dre, Martin Luther. I mean, I was saying Martin Luther King. It was Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige. Right after that, it was Usher. No, it was Rihanna.
Yes.
Then it was Usher. It was Kendrick. Now it's Bad Bunny. And it makes me think of, too, because I know we've been discussing it, it's like, what does the music of this administration, of this, like, president sound like? And to me, it's giving revolutionary.
You
Like,
ain't
when
getting
you
no
think
motherfucking
about-
Morgan Wallen. You ain't getting none of these motherfuckers on this stage, bitch. Not
You
during
ain't
this
getting no Kid
time.
Rock.
Not
You
during
ain't
this
getting no Kid
time,
Rock.
ho. You better hold your beer and your fucking well American hat and hold a dick. How about that? Fuck out of here. That's what we give it to all these racists.
It's gonna be exciting to see like who's gonna be the next two like showcases for the remainder of his presidency, because it seems to be a big fuck you.
Ooh, that's my shit, y'all. I'm excited. I'm sorry. I'm excited.
No, I'm about to like have my first Bad Bunny album.
Oh, can I say, since we're on the topic of Donald Trump, granted, we're not talking about film, but he did just announce while we were on the podcast, 100% tariff on all films made outside the US.
Oh God.
So I don't know, it's interesting because it's like, I just feel like he needs to just chill out. But also, I'm curious as to how this impacts Hollywood positively, because for those who don't know, Hollywood like is experiencing a huge shift right now because it's just not what it used to be. And there's a lot of film being created outside of Hollywood now because Hollywood is no longer necessarily the mecca. Granted, to some degree it is, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the only place now where film is being developed. Like I know they're building studios in Jersey now.
Yeah.
But I'm curious now with these tariffs, like what that's gonna do for Hollywood, considering I'm sure people aren't gonna be paying any tariffs if they gotta do shit outside the country. They're gonna want to bring everything back in-house. So it could actually be good for Hollywood.
Yeah. I have to see
Yeah.
about that, to be honest. But anything this man announces, I always deem as hell on earth. To be honest.
Grain of salt every time.
Every single time. I don't have a positive bone in my body. Okay, the bone marrow, I don't got none when it comes to Donald. I'm not gonna hold you. So we'll see. We shall see. Okay. But one thing I just want to touch on really quick before we move into our favorite segment. Kai Cenat becomes the first Twitch streamer to surpass 1 million subscribers.
Black history.
To him, you know what I'm saying? I think that's very important to mention just because he is one of the Black content creators that is dominating the space. I mean, he was featured on Billboard, featured on, different publications for being the #1 streamer and content creator. I mean, people have considered him a hip hop journalist, which is very, very, very untrue, but he does hold power as far as the guest that does come and frequent his show. Like recently, Mariah Carey, all of the big heavy names have stopped by to either announce something or, be a part of his stream. And he finally reached over 1 million subscribers. I could just imagine what the money of that alone is. But this boy is making some serious, serious, serious bank. Okay. And also
and brings his friends with him. I was just gonna say, and brings his friends with him. Like it is it's so fun and cute to see just all these young Black kids together, just happy, crying over 1 million streams. Like to us, I feel like millennials, baby, we're gonna be but that's really cool. Like when you think about it, like it's like that is really cool. Like
very, very cool. And what is also cool, we gotta have give our tens to our good sis Aja Wilson. It's how you say Aja or Aja?
It's Asia, girl.
Oh, Asia. I play Aja. But Asia Wilson, shout out to her. She makes history as the first WNBA player to become MVP 4 times at the tender age of 29. Okay, so shout out to her. Sneakers sold out. She is an MVP. She's one of the most talked about players that I've personally seen in the WNBA streets. I love her personality. I love that she got a fine ass man that's also in sports. You know what I'm saying? Equally yoked. Hello, get it? And she's fine as fuck. Like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the girls over there at the W of the NBA. We definitely appreciate y'all. Okay. And I think that's all we got for this week, y'all.
Yeah.
For this episode of Reasonable Dialogue. But it's time to move into our favorite segment of the podcast. The set list, y'all. Okay.
You know, I kind of want to go first this week. I'm excited. I have a lot of
gonna
good
go
stuff.
first.
Go,
I was gonna
sir.
go first.
So speaking of Kai tonight, I did want to shout out my boy Chris Patrick's and his freestyle. So that's top of my set list.
Oh yes,
Chris
congratulations,
Patrick, man, listen. Chris Patrick is an artist, I want to say almost 10 years now. If I got to be honest, I haven't necessarily said much recently, but he was one of the first rappers that I really was just like gung-ho, like this nigga is next. Like I remember there was days on Twitter, I would be going back and forth to niggas like, he's next. No, he not. No, he is. And it's just so dope to see him having this breakthrough moment almost 10 years later. Because I feel like a lot of artists quit, right? Like they get to this space where it's just like, damn, like my music is not breaking through in the way that I wanted to. And I think for a lot of people in his position, assume that that would be his case, but he's still mashing. I really think it's dope that he's having this incredible moment. Having been featured on the Mafiathon stream series with Kai Cenat. I think, like, I can honestly say I genuinely think that his freestyle was the best one. So I think it's really dope that the industry is embracing him like, yo, this nigga's fire, because he really is. And I think it's really his time. So shout out to Chris Patrick. In the hip hop vein, Larizi just dropped his EP, Louisiana Shakedown. So definitely check that out. There was a Colors performance from 2023 that was circulating of Yusuf Days performing a single from Black classical music, and that is actually one of my favorite albums of all time. So I'm gonna put that on my set list this week. It is a jazz album. It kind of leans in the vein of like jazz, R&B, hip hop. Like there's a lot of like influences in the production of it all. It's an amazing album. I revisit it a lot. Also Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life is on my set list. Had an anniversary that just passed, I believe yesterday. So I did go and spin that on my vinyl player. Definitely give that a listen. My favorite track off of that is As. Protect All Stars. Stars is a producer out of Nigeria. He put together a compilation album with a lot of artists. It released on Friday. I also was able to interview him for Pandora. So check out the album and the interview on Soul and Ginger on Pandora Radio. A couple more. Ari Lennox released a new single called Vacancy with Jermaine Dupri, who produced it. Listen, so I'm not gonna lie, Ari Lennox recent releases have not been doing it for me, aside from Get Close. And I've definitely been part of the camp of like, girl, can we reel it back in and get to Shea Butter Baby and that sound? Because this pop shit, no, not jacking it. So she's back, for lack of words. And I'm just really happy to see her kind of like back in this vein of more traditional R&B and the Ari sound that we love, because that's her bag. Like I really need her to stay there. So shout out to Jermaine Dupri for producing that. Fabo, in that same conversation around traditional R&B, he just released a single called Anything for You. Anybody who know me know I'm like diehard Fabo fan for life. Anything for You is probably one of his best singles ever. Amazing track. I've had that on repeat a lot as well. Vino French released an EP called Love on Purpose. Shout out to him. He finally returned after, I want to say, 3 or 4 years of not releasing music. He attended, I have this series called The Lab, and he was one of the first guests that attended. So shout out to him. Really proud of him. I know like this whole journey has been something that's been kind of hard for him because he didn't really know how people would receive his music after being gone for so long. So shout out to Vino French and shout out to the album. It's really great. 2 more. The restaurant me and Jazz went to, I want to put that on my set list because that shit is fire. It's called Matir Thai. I might be saying it wrong, but you'll see the spelling on the set list graphic. And then lastly, Assata's autobiography. And that is my set list for this week.
I'm glad you put that on there because that crab fried rice,
Girl,
it's
Okay,
I will
relax,
be back. I will
relax,
be back.
relax, relax,
Sorry.
relax.
Wait, no, our bad.
Damn, like, come on, crab fried rice. That's my bag right there. Go, Jazz, go, because I'm
I
tight.
got you next time, sis. I promise. I promise.
Alright.
Okay. For my set list, I want to shout out my stepfather because when I did hear the news of Assata Shakur, he was one of the first people that sent the link, and he was one of the people in my life growing up that kept me familiar with a lot of these impactful Black figures. So because of that, and this artist too, he got me hip to this artist. So I wanted to dedicate a song to Assata, and it's gonna be Mos Def's Umi Says. So that's on my set list. I also really, really, really love this Doja Cat video, Gorgeous. It reminded me of kind of like when you was back in the day watching like a Maybelline commercial or like the Queen collection, like when Queen Latifah had her makeup line and you used to see her ads. I think it's very reminiscent of that. So shout out to Doja Cat and the visuals for Gorgeous. Also, shout out to motherfucking Mana Leo because all weekend I've been saying sexy, Solange, Black American princess. Like, I am here for that visual and I am here for her getting her flowers because she has been rapping for a minute now. And in this new era of watching new superstars be developed, I love the way her team is moving. So shout out to her and that record and the video. I love it. Shout out to Cardi B's team with all these deluxe drops they keep doing. Look, the bonus release, the live album release version, the Every Time version, the bonus, the Barty Gang version. I'm here for all the
Play
versions.
the
And one
game,
of the
Cardi.
versions,
Play the game, Cardi.
literally, sis. And but one of the versions has this song called "Don't Do Too Much" that I really wish was on the original album. Sorry, guys, I really wish that was on the original album. But hey, I'll take it. It's on the bonus. It slaps. I can't stop listening to it. I love "Don't Do Too Much" Cardi. So that's on there. Another single I have on here that's kind of been my little self-care song this week is, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, y'all. Is it Low Shimmy? Is it Don Toliver? The
Yes, that's my shit.
that
Yes.
3 a.m. record. Yes, sis. I'm doing the clocking thing right now as we talk about that song. But yes, that Don Toliver and Low Shimmy 3 a.m. has been on repeat. I also really, really love a good laugh. My sis loves, I love a good Kiki. Drewski's Could Have Been Love Too. I mean, season 2 casting call is up on YouTube. It is freaking hilarious. This season, he is basically opening the door for the fans, us to pick who should be a part of the cast. And I just think Drewski is a comedian of the times right now. He's hilarious and it's very funny. It's on YouTube. I keep hearing phenomenal things about One Battle After Another, so I plan to see that with Tiana Taylor, Leonardo DiCaprio. I believe Regina Hall is in it, and there's a lot of talk around this young starlet by the name. I think her name is Chase. I think her name Affinity or something. If I'm pronouncing your name, girl, I'm sorry, but yeah, they saying you next up, so I need to go check it out. And then last but not least, shout out to all these Black creators and influencers that are getting these deals because we know that they are impacting the culture. Ramonte has a Chipotle bowl that you can get on Chipotle right now. His face is huge on the Chipotle app. So yeah, shout out to Ramonte. And that's my set list, sisters. Woohoo!
I love that. I love that. Okay, so for me this week's set list, I'm gonna go with PJ Morton, Jill Scott, and Alex Isley. Still Believe. Heard that, was like, oof. Ciao. PJ Morton, I have to see him live. He is phenomenal, honestly. A oldie but a goodie. Nas and the old Kanye, but Kanye West, Chrisette Michelle, Still Dreaming. Definitely heard this song randomly. Was like, yo, this is such a vibe. I love when, you're just on shuffle and songs just come up and you're like, wow, I definitely really, really am listening to it with a different lens and a different ear, and this is very much so a vibe. So I love that song. R.I.P. legendary house Chicago DJ that we spoke about last week that passed away. Ron Carroll had to add his song back together on my set list. Samara Sin, she's one of my favorite newest artists that's out. I love her vibe. I don't care what people say about the comparisons with her and Doja, to be honest. I can see it a little bit as far as the vocal tone and certain inflections, but she's very much so in her own bag. And I do like her a lot, and I think she has a lot of potential. And speaking of Miss Kitty Cat, Doja Cat, the single from Vi, is it Vi or V? Either way, That single stood out to me a lot. Among other singles, I'm still listening to the album, so I didn't want to put the album on the set list yet, but that single for me definitely stood out, especially the sample that was used. I'm, in my producer bag, so I'm listening to music from the ear of samples and, production, but definitely vibe with that one. Umi, the Universe single, definitely love the vibe that Umi always delivers in music. Same thing, gotta go with my sis Jazz Mona Leo. She's doing it big from her wedding to her new single, Sexy Solange. I mean, the Black American princess and everything that she has going on, from the single to the video, embodying all of what Black America is, from the even the quote unquote superstitions, like spitting on a broom if you dust your feet. You know what I'm saying? I've heard that growing up. Like if you sweep somebody's feet, you probably won't get married. That's something in my personal, family's culture that I've heard. So the fact that she's even mentioning certain things, and like we say, y'all, the other side don't need to know everything. A lot of people, we want to know how we get our sauce and where it come from. Sometimes they just got to sit in the back. What she said, white people to the back. If you're not African American, to the back immediately. Okay, shout out to Joanne the scammer. So her video also very, very reminiscent, nostalgic. I'm talking about from the outfits, the nails, the jewelry, the grills, just Black American fucking fun. I love Mona Leo and I love where she's at right now. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but I'm sure Jan, because you are super, 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 super heavy in the R&B streets. Nali, Nali. I love Nyla. It's an album that I just randomly heard from this artist. She's new to me, so I heard her project and I thought she was super, super dope, and definitely going to put her on my set list. Of course, I just recently dropped my Elevator Music live DJ set. I've been getting so much love on my DJ mix recently. Super happy. No, it's okay, sister. Thank you. I appreciate it because, I be nervous still to this day when it comes to certain things, because I always want to do great work and I always want to put out things that people are going to love because I love it. It's like, yes, I love it first, but I do want you guys to love it too. So the fact that I get so many compliments so far over my DJ set, and shout out to the production team, Mickey and them in Chicago. They literally do this funding themselves. They pay for everything. They just create a space just for us DJs and performers to come and just share our talents and our gifts. And I think that's just so phenomenal. So I just want to give them their flowers for being so down to earth and being so amazing in their production, and to really invest in things like that. And honestly, they put the music on YouTube and they can't monetize. So they get no money from these videos. And they've had such legendary producers and DJs that have literally had millions of streams. And you know how YouTube pays you the most when it comes to, content. So the fact that they're not making any money from this, of course they can't because of some of the songs being copywritten. They're giving back to the artists and still respecting it and just doing it for the love. So shout out to them for building a platform of genuine passion and love. So, and I appreciate being a part of that. My Empower Beats Meet and Mixer NYC. I have to put that on my set list because the girls came through last week. I threw another in-person meet and mixer that I do for my women's DJ community. I was super, super overwhelmed. I went home and I cried because it was so overwhelming, just the amount of love and community that all of these ladies are creating, not only with me, but with everyone else. And I don't want to get emotional, but I feel like I'm really in my purpose, y'all. I feel like I'm really helping and assisting in just driving people's dreams. It's hard as fuck in this world. And sometimes, if not most times, I just want people to look at me and be like, yo, I could do this shit too, man. Because I do go through things and everything is not always, a bed of roses and fucking puppies and balloons and shit. So that reminder of utilizing my voice and my platform to help these girls. And I had one bright student who was just literally 18 years old and was so overwhelmed with gratitude for me even being there and connecting her, and just the people that I've met. And I'm just so grateful, y'all. This is really my passion. This is my work. I realize now, me literally chasing my dreams was to help other people pursue their dreams. So that's my purpose in life. And I feel so fulfilled. I'm sorry to cry. No, I'm not sorry to cry. Bro, no, we cried together.
No, literally.
I feel so fulfilled. Like, it's not about the money. It's not about the platform. I don't care about how much of a following I have. I could have
nothing, and I would still be happy with the fact that I'm impacting people's lives the way that I am. And that's what it's about. The money is coming because of the love that I'm putting out first. God has blessed me with creative abundance to sustain me financially in that. So I just want people to always chase the passion, not the money. Chase the passion, not the money. Also, speaking of passion, that leads us to places. Live from the Swamp Tour, y'all. We are a few days away from officially hitting our first date in Chicago, and I'm super excited and I'm grateful. And I want to give my sister Dochi her tens because she's such a phenomenal person and artist, and the fact that she always wants everyone around her to genuinely win. I mean, that is just somebody that I'm so proud of and will continue to pour into. So I'm excited about that. And last but not least, of course, my Miss Milan and Friends Club tour as well. You all can catch me on the road doing these after parties for you guys to come and meet me, and also, you know what I'm saying, vibe out with some other DJ homies in the city. I love the fact that I'm putting on DJs from the city and just truly having a vibe within the city and just really, really pouring into the DJ culture. I wanted to do this because I want to continue to uphold the DJ culture. So I'm glad to be doing it. We're doing Toronto, we're doing Houston, we're doing a lot of dates. I have it on my page and on my website, djmissmilan.com. And that is the end of my set list, y'all.
Okay, talk about the brand. Okay, talk about the brand. The brand is brandy, okay? Like, I was here for it. And I just want to say there have been so many of those elevator music videos that come across timelines X, Y, and Z, like, but they don't bring the personality. My sis brings the vibe. Like,
Y'all just had that leg up. She had that leg up. It was like, ew, so into it though.
To your credit too, I've really never seen nobody talk about that series for real on my timeline until you did it. And now I'm seeing that shit I swear to God, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? I keep seeing Milan, but
so, I feel like people use it, like people use it as kind of like a look where you have amplified it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's keep going. Like, it's, girl, we'll be in the condo crying all day.
We be crying, laughing, smoking, enjoying each other's company because I love my sisters and y'all love me. And we love y'all.
Yes.
We love y'all here at the Reasonable Dialogue community for sure, for sure. Make sure you guys are definitely tuning in each and every week as we drop these episodes. And we continue to grow, y'all. We have a lot of things that we're definitely going to be coming with to the community and just continue to grow with us. So we appreciate each and every one of y'all that support us. Tune in every single Tuesday to look forward to the girls in the condo. And that is our episode, y'all. We thank you so much. What?
And we bringing the Spaces back, y'all. Just wanted to say that Spaces is returning to Twitter. So be on the lookout for those updates as they come. But we will be bringing that back to the timeline.
Okay, we're going to be right in time for the Bonito board.
CC.
But you know what time it is. Y'all niggas ain't gotta go home, but y'all gotta get the fuck out of here. It's been a great episode, and please make sure y'all subscribe, rate, comment, tell a friend, share it on Instagram, Twitter, whatever you gotta do. But thank y'all for tapping in, and this was Reasonable Dialogue.
Bye.
What's up, world? It's your girl Jazz.
It's your girl DJ Miss Milan.
And it's your girl Jan Sneed. Thank you guys for tapping into another episode of the Reasonable Dialogue podcast. Thank you guys for tapping in every week and spending time with your favorite girls at the condo. We really, really appreciate the love you guys pour into us. And if you're rocking with the conversations, make sure you follow us on all socials. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Reasonable Dialogue. And be sure to rate, subscribe, comment, like, tell a friend to tell a friend, and be sure to stay reasonable.